Okay, sorry about that. One of the issues of doing these videos with a tablet is every once in a while I accidentally bump the button and turn it off. So I'll try and keep my thumb away from that. Here's the other side of your storage compartments. Your other furnace. Okay, this little compartment here to the rear of your furnace is access to the back of your refrigerator for your ice maker control water valve and your 110 plug for the refrigerator. Again, here's your slide tray. Comes out this side or the other side like I showed you. You just lift up on this little yellow lever and pull it out. Push it back in so it stops. Storage compartment here. Down here, below here, the yellow cap, that is your remote fill to fill your LP tank. Diesel fuel fill, one on each side, one tank, two fills. Your leveling pump. And up here are some fuse boxes and controls like your generator start, autogen, relays, fuses. There's a pull handle right here. You pull this handle to release the front generator door. There's the generator. The yellow is your dipstick and oil fill. The white is your antifreeze fill. You can see the antifreeze level between the lines. It's a translucent jug. That switch right there has to be in the on position or you won't get any power. There is an hour meter for the generator. Start stop switch. Start is also preheat. So when we hold start, it preheats until it's up to temp and then it cranks the engine. The colder it is, the longer it takes to crank. Stop, you just hit stop. Hold down stop. After about 20 seconds, the light comes on. We are now running the fuel pump. We are priming the engine. So if we ran it out of fuel, we hold stop continuously to prime the engine. Your windshield washer solvent, AC condenser, this door swings down. When you release it, it's going to pop out, and there is a safety catch right here. Again, back here is your other fuel fill on the passenger side, right behind the front tire. Brand new steps just installed. When we come in here to the rear of the entry door, there's a step switch, step cover in and out, battery disconnect, ceiling lights, exterior lights. You can turn all your exterior lights on. Compartment lights, turns lights on in the compartments. Awning. Puts your over the door awning out. The one that says entry awning, puts that out. The one that says front awning, puts out your main awning. Now because your main awning is on the slide out, you want to have the slide out before you put this in, or before you put the awning out, because when the slide out comes out, the awning's coming out further with it. So if you put the awning out and you're close to something and then you come in and put the slide out, the slide out goes out another 40 inches. Like right now, you'll notice that it comes really close to our rack there. If I put the slide out, it will hit the rack. So you have to pay attention to that. There's a switch down here for the LEDs on the awning. Put the awning back in. You just push the button release and it auto retracts. The over the door awning you have to hold, but the main awning will auto retract just by hitting the button. I tell everybody when it comes to awnings, they are shade. They're not designed to be windproof or rainproof, so if you're not standing underneath it, push the button, put it away. It's a simple way to save a whole lot of money and problems by putting the awning away. Okay, now I'm up here, I'm going to run the step cover out so you can see how that works. And back in. Second set of keys is here on the seat. Probably somewhere else. We'll throw them in a drawer. Above the passenger seat, above the window. Open this compartment. Up here, we have another LP gas valve switch, just like the one on the other one. You have your two water heater switches, one for gas, one for electric. Water pump switch. And your slide out switches. You have your comfort system. This is your heat and cooling. At the bottom you see where it says off. That's system. If I press the system button, it changes to cool. Press it again, heat. Press it again, back to off. When I set it to cool, I'm in zone 1. It's in cool on high. I hit mode. Cool on low fan. Cool on auto fan. I can also have it on fan only high, fan only low, or off. So when we put it on, I usually run it in cool auto. We change zones to zone 2. We're in cool high again. We're going to go to cool auto. Zone 2 has the same cooling modes as zone 1. When I change the system to heat, zone 2, heat off. I hit the mode button, gas heat, that's your furnace, zone button, sorry. Zone 1, gas heat. Zone 2, electric heat. Electric heat is your heat pumps. And heat off. Okay, it will save that. If you set the gas heat, and this is your temperature control, and we set the gas heat at say 77 degrees or whatever you're comfortable with, it'll save that. We go to zone 2. We have heat off, we hit the mode button, and there's no heating set up in zone 2. Sorry about that. Okay, this is your power control system. Right now it says we're on 50 amps, that means it does nothing. If you put that 30 amp adapter on, it will say 30 amp. If I start the generator, it'll say generator. If I scroll through, I can get wiring status, how many volts, how many amps, what's on, and what it can turn off. See if it says load status, AC, washer, dryer, water heater, it can turn all of those things off if you overload it. This is your inverter. You have an inverter button, turns the inverter on or off. Because you have an electric refrigerator, I suggest that you have the inverter on anytime you're using the unit, but do make sure you turn it off when you put the unit in storage because it will run the batteries dead. The charger button. If you turn the charger off, the charge light's going to blink and the battery charger is going to go on standby. Leave the charger on unless you're somewhere on low power and you want to conserve energy. The shore button allows you to change the input breaker. The maximum you can set it at is 30 amps. You can, however, dial it down to 5 amps. When you turn it down to 5 amps, it's going to reduce the battery charge rate. Do not turn it up above 30 or you'll start blowing breakers. AGS is your auto gen start. Press the AGS button, it comes up, it says AGS control. If I press the button, it says it's off. And I can go to test, enable, quiet time, wherever I want it. Turn the button down or turn the knob down, it goes to status. The runtime hour, that's how long it'll run. Start volts we don't, or start temp we don't use. Start volt, we want to set that at about 11.5 to 11.7 depending on your climate. You need to set the time to your correct time if you use quiet time. Because if you don't set the time, it might think it's 11 a.m. when it's 11 p.m. Or it could think it's 11 a.m. when it's 6 p.m. It doesn't know. It has its own clock. You have to set it. Quiet time. If you go to some place that has a quiet time, you go in here and you set the quiet time. As you can see, it has a bunch of presets. AGS Tech you're not going to need. The meter button always takes you to the front meter. It also gives you the option of going to other meters in the unit. Setup is already done, but if you change batteries or make changes to the system, you might have to go into setup and change it. Tech is just where we go in to get technical information, our temperatures, our software revisions, our model, and all that stuff. Nothing in here you need to deal with. To put the slide outs out, number one, you have to make sure you have a place for them to go. Number two, the ignition has to be on. So you turn the key on, and each one of these runs a slide out. Press the out button, and the front button runs the driver's side slide out. I'm going to go ahead and pause this while I run these out. Alright, so that's pretty much all of that. The couch. Remove the cushions. We are Velcroed on. Once you remove the cushions, it takes two hands, so what we're going to do is we're going to lift up on the front cushions and pull it out. I'm going to try and leave this set so you can kind of see what I'm doing. We're going to lift straight up and pull. And as we pull it out, the legs are going to unfold and it's going to flip over like that. Once that's done, the back flips down. On the back is your air mattress. Unsnap all of those straps, lay the air mattress out. There is a plug. There's a little door right there. Pop the door open, pull the cord out. There's an on-off switch, and that rotary knob. When you rotate the knob one way, it inflates the bed. When you rotate it the other way, it deflates the bed. I'm going to put the couch back together. So putting it back together, we flip the back up. We go to the front. And we're just going to lift straight up. And as we lift up, it's going to begin to fold. As it folds, push it down, and we put the cushions back on. Just like that, it's a couch again. Alright. Down here behind the passenger seat, you get a 110 outlet and a 12 volt outlet. Fire extinguisher between the passenger seat and the side console. 6-way power seats. And then you have levers for adjustment for the back adjust and for the footrest. Leveling system requires that the ignition be on. So when I turn the key on, hit the power button, you're going to get a jacks down because it is currently leveled. And it says low voltage because it wants the engine running. Start the motor up. Mirror heat for heated mirrors, left and right switch, and the controller buttons. So if I put it on left, you can see it moves the mirror. Alright, now the green blinking light in the middle means we're already level. We're already leveled. Retract puts the jacks up. You have a choice between manual and auto. You can only use auto when the jacks are already up. Hold the manual button down, it turns on the manual light. Now I have push button control front, rear, left, and right. When I put the jacks up, I hit retract all. In manual mode, I can just bump them. Otherwise, it's full retract and they go all the way up. It's an easy leveling system to reprogram. If you find you want to make some changes to it, you can look all this up online. You just sit here and push a few buttons to reprogram it. Very nice, simple system. Alright, coming up here, the switch panels. We have aisle lights. Oops, that's the horn. About that. We have aisle lights. Those are little marker lights on the floor throughout the coach. ICC flash. This blinks you a marker lights. Air horn. You can turn that off. Now it's city horn. Dash fans. Those are your overhead fans up here. Now the one on the driver's side is actually correct. It's pointed towards the windshield. And then if you flip it down, it's low speed, middle is off, up is high speed. The one on the passenger side is pointed towards the passenger. Technically that is incorrect because the reason for these fans is to help you defrost that big window. But since most people don't drive these in cold weather, it's not as big a deal, so just point the fans itself. Exhaust brake is either on or off. That's your engine brake. Service light. Docking light. You have auto, off, on. Auxiliary start. When I press this button, it connects all my batteries together. Wipers. These are confusing to some people. You push the button down to turn it on. Or you hit wash. Now when I hit wash, now Now I'm washing. Alright, now, if I want to go slower, I pull it, toggle it down. If I want to go faster, I toggle it up. As you toggle down, you get into your delays. Longer and longer, longer delays. To turn it off, press the button down and let go of it. This little square knob here controls this. If I press it to the right, it puts a check mark next to the item. And I can go through and check my entire list. I know it's not showing up very good in this video, but there is a checklist that you can verify that you've done everything here. If I flip it to the left, it eliminates it. Now we're in our normal. You can see generator hours, date and time, odometer. You can scroll down. Today's fuel. I can change that to average speed, idle time, distance, whatever I want to see. Go down. Leg distance. I can set a leg and say, oh, I want to see how much fuel I used on the leg. Okay? Trip distance. We can reset the trip. To reset it, we hit it to the left. Oops. Gotta highlight it again. Hold left and hold right for 3 seconds. And I just reset the trip meter. I can do the same with the today meter. Hit left, hold right for 3 seconds, and it resets it. Fuel used. I can reset that. Start over. I can go look at total engine hours. Engine temp. I can set whatever I want to see in there. I can change that. Transmission temp. I can see what gear I'm in or what my temp is. Generator hours were back there, back there. Okay. Now something you're going to need to know how to do, because you're going to want to do it if you hold to the right continuously. It goes here. Setup. Date and time. Every time we change batteries or shut the batteries off and reset them, the computer restarts on 01/01/00. So up is the correct date. Whoops. 7. Today is the 6th. And it is 2020. Our time is